This is home training. Yeah, I'm at home practicing. And what I did was I picked up I have a tennis racket hooked with PVC and with like a little T there. And I want to practice my forehand. And what I'm practicing is I'm practicing for the extension. A lot of times people start with deflection, but they have no extension when they hit the ball out here. They're hitting too close to their body. So this is basically for the extension. So when you're hitting the ball, you're practicing away from your body. It is a little bit heavier. I could have made it lighter, but it's a little heavy, so you're going to have some training. So maybe it's good that you can use your extra hand too, because a lot of times the biggest mistake is people don't use that helping hand when they go to turn the shoulder. It's amazing. Their bodies are open. And imagine if you had thousands and thousands of balls and you hit like with a closed stance, and you had a good follow through with using extra hand. I imagine you get a pretty precise open stance like this, okay, which is good after thousands of balls. I mean thousands and thousands. But what happens is you get all these beginning players, and they're listening to YouTube, and they're listening to these top pros. Everybody wants to be like the top pros or top players, and yet they never had the basic fundamentals at all. And so that's a big problem. And so when you're playing, you want to be able to, extend your arm out, because you want to hit outside the ball, and that's where you get more power, okay? And another thing is sad is because there's no, in tennis, young kids are just standing still. They're swinging their arms, but they're not using their legs, okay? And so that's another video where you're just getting a swivel chair and practicing a swivel chair and practice lifting. But this is more for extension. Okay, so I'm practicing my racket and practicing extension. I can do that both in my forehand and my backhand. And what I did was I just put some ties here on a PCV valve, and now I'm just practicing. And also at the same time, it's just exercise for strengthening. And whether you use two hands, and that's another big thing. You teach a kid one hand, and you go to another person, and all of a sudden they go to a group, and say, oh, everybody's got two hands. No, everybody doesn't have to use two hands. And use one hand, use two hands, use left-handed. I try to encourage all my students to hit one-handed backhands, okay? I have them hit two-handed backhands, and then I have them hit a left-handed forehand. And I have them choke up like Djokovic or Serena Williams, so they can build up their muscles, okay, on this side, so they can have a good, more efficient, effective, powerful backhand. So now the left-handed forehand, all it is a two-handed backhand. That's all it is. I like Agassi, where Agassi put his knuckle on top more, and I'm seeing such sloppiness. They take the racket, and they use a forehand grip like a Western more often, and then they sloppily turn it